Hello and welcome back, everyone. Scootsy16 here with another game from the Elite Discord tournament. Today we will be watching the Lockhorns face off against the Dirt Dogs in Game 4 of this five-game series. We will be in Whacker's Wheel, home of the Dirt Dogs, and the Lockhorns won the last game, putting them up 2-1 in this series. So they have a chance to be able to clinch this series and move into the semifinals. And we will see exactly how this game plays off, if the Dirt Dogs can force a game five, or if the Lockhorns can clinch this game before having to head home to face off for game five. Let's get ahead into this one, starting with taking a look at the Lockhorns lineup. Starting off in center field is leadoff hitter Skylar Lynch. He's been really hot in these last few games, and so he being locked in is the obvious choice for who you'd want to get started in this game, as he's been hitting the ball really well. He's been moving really quickly on the base paths with that top tier speed. We'll see if he can keep that going here today. Ariadne Fitzpatrick in the two spot at left field, her secondary position. She's been kind of moving back and forth between the corner outfield spots, and she's going to get a chance to get back into left field. Again, not that great of a fielder, but she has been doing everything else very, very well. So she's locked in. We'll see her continue her hot streak today, hopefully. Tobias Fox, who has been struggling mightily as the captain of the Lockhorns. He is going to be in the three spot. I don't know if this is the right call for them, but they are going to go ahead and commit to their captain. I don't know if this is because he's talking to the manager and making these decisions, or if they just trust him and they know that he'll be able to come through when they need him. The four spot, J.R. Vang, who's been having a pretty solid series so far. He's going to be in right field in his primary position. He did take the day off DHing in the last game, and Leland Pollard, who had a break, will be coming in to DH for this one. He is normally a center fielder. He started that first game. We'll see what he does here today. Uriel Sardi is back into the lineup. He was very tense after that last game. So after game two. So he sat out for game three. He did come in towards the end. He was able to shake some of that tense mojo when he's back to neutral. He's in the sixth spot today at shortstop. Gabriel Blanchard, has been playing really well in this series all throughout, and he's going to continue in the seventh spot at second base. Ellen Flores, the natural shortstop, will be playing in third base, her secondary position in the 8 hole. She did not have an amazing game last time out, but she will try and see what she can do. And rounding out the order is Emerson Smith, again getting a start here for this fourth consecutive game. He is getting tired, but he's trying to hold his own behind the plate. Starting for the Lockhorns is Ramus Turnpike. Ramus was drafted in the 9th round, and he was the third starter that was drafted. So he would have naturally been in the third spot in the rotation, but he ends up being their fourth starter. He's a B plus with an elite screwball. We haven't really seen the screwball show up in this tournament just yet, so we'll see how the batters respond to that. He also has a four-seam fastball that plays okay, and that curveball, the slider, and the elite screwball that he'll be using with that high-level junk, and his accuracy below average, slightly below average. We'll see if he's able to stay effectively wild in this one. As we see, it didn't really turn out that way if you've been able to follow along with the Arctics in their series. We just had that game posted yesterday. So let's go ahead and move forward into the Dirt Dogs lineup. They have to show up today if they want to stay alive in this tournament, and they're going to turn to Count Fellows to stay in right field and stay in that number one spot. He's still locked in, so he's going to stay there. They decide to commit to those top four again with Cedar Nielsen in the DH spot. He is tense today. He had some trouble striking out too many times in that last game, but he's going to try and reset. Stu Soto hasn't done too much in this game. He will be in the third spot at first base as normal. Mario Griffin, same thing, but behind the plate. And then we go to Sebastian Schaefer, who started at third yesterday. I'm sorry, yesterday being the last game they played, and he's going to be back at third base for this one. In center field, Frank Bracketeer. At short, Tiger Avalos gets another start, his second consecutive start. We'll see what he can do. Marcos McMackey comes back in after sitting a game out, and he has Ace Exterminator, but it will not be activated in this game, at least against the starter, as Turnpike is not an ace or an A level starter. In the ninth spot, once again, is Slide Armstrong, who's been holding steady defensively over at second base. And he's done his part offensively as well, but not nearly as much of a contribution as others on his team. Their starter is going to be Bolivar McHustle. What a wild name that he has. He was drafted in the 10th round, and he was actually the third starter drafted for the Toast as well for the Dirt Dogs. Bolivar is a lefty. He kind of plays very similarly to the Lockhorns pitcher. He's actually got really great junk. He's got good velocity and he has low accuracy. However, he has a couple of traits that kick in here too. He has a low tier K collector and he has an elite four seam fastball. Now, the four seam is the only fastball that he has, and he has 3 off speed pitches as well: the curveball, the slider, and the changeup. He also has some surprisingly great power attributes, but we won't really see that in this tournament as everything is a DH role. Now, we are very curious to see how this game plays out. Both pitchers are very equally matched. Bolivar being a lefty means that a couple of those power or contact versus righty traits will not kick in for the Lockhorns until we see a reliever come in. But let's go ahead and get into this one. Dirt Dogs really needing to find themselves and to step up in Game 4, which could be elimination for them if they are not able to produce today. The Lockhorns, they want to lock it down today, and they're going to try to get on the board immediately, starting with their locked-in center fielder, Skylar Lynch, who's been batting .571 in this series so far. He swings at the first pitch and fouls off. Then swings at the second pitch and fouls off. And now K Collector gets activated. It is minimal. And he was able to get enough on that one. And he makes contact for the 4th time consecutively. Another foul. That ball gets away way outside. And fights another pitch off. So already starting to work. And that was a wild... I believe that was the slider. Was that the changeup? Either way, that ball just ducked out of the zone. I think that was actually the slider that we saw from McHustle on that one. And it's a strikeout, so Skylar Lynch goes down. And Fitzpatrick finds herself in the same spot. She does hit that one, but it's going to be a pop-up to shallow right field, and Armstrong comes all the way out to catch that one for out number 2. Tobias Fox really needing to straighten things out offensively, as he is batting .250 and nothing to show for it. And they've been putting him at the top of the order all throughout the series. And there it is. There we go, folks. He was able to put that one on a line to left field for the home run. So Tobias Fox finally finding that stroke. 412 to left field for his first home run and first RBI of the tournament. And he says, what do you think about that? As he's finally able to show up for the Lockhorns here in the first inning in a pivotal matchup against the Dirt Dogs. Is that going to be the start of something big for this Lockhorns offense? Vang goes down 0-2 already. It's what McHustle's been able to do a lot. And Vang hits that one really hard, but Fellows was able to range over that really quickly, kind of takes a stab at it there, and is able to snatch it out of the air before it gets down and all the way to the wall. And after a great catch from Fellows, he comes up to the plate down 1-0 already, and the Dirt Dogs, they might start pressing. We've seen this from other teams on the brink of elimination, and the Dirt Dogs are going to have to stay composed if they're going to want to stay in this game and this tournament. And look at that. And the answer to Tobias Fox is in Count Fellows, as he almost puts it in the same spot as Tobias. 421. He says, anything you can do, I can do better. As he puts that one just a little bit farther, and that's his second home run, his second RBI of the tournament, and it comes in the form of a solo shot to lead off the inning for the Dirt Dogs. So this is 1-1 already. Turnpike must be feeling a little frustrated. He is being impacted by that tier 2 mind gamer. You see his accuracy is almost non-existent. He's also tense already. And he gets the pop up there. Sardi calls off the left fielder, Ariadne Fitzpatrick, to catch that one for out number 1. Here comes Stu Soto, 222, another guy that they expected to be a much more offensive threat in this series, has not done anything. And here we go. This is going to be a really fun one. This is the way that it goes, as Stu Soto finally finds his stroke as well. And he's feeling really good about that when he pulls it to right field. And that one's a bit more of a moonshot. That one goes 394, his first home run and first RBI of the tournament. So it's been really fun to see how this game already started with three solo shots, but really two batters that have been struggling all series, starting to find their offensive stroke. And you wonder, is that going to be a huge difference maker for this this game and these pitchers? We'll see how it all goes down. Now full count, and Mario Griffin hits that one hard. Fitzpatrick is able to get over to that one really quickly, heading towards the left field line. And I think that ball, he gets under that a little bit more, and that ball's going to be gone. And now here comes Schaefer with 2 outs. He's been doing decently better than the start of the series, and he grounds that one slowly to Blanchard, who's able to get to that and toss it over to Fox for out number 3. 2 mistake pitches for Turnpike, and they turn into 2 solo shots for the Dirt Dogs, who take the lead in the bottom of the first inning. So we head to the second, and the scoring has already begun. 2-1 Dirt Dogs. Here comes Leland Pollard, who had a break. He got a chance to kind of look at the stadium, look at everything, and wow, almost a collision between Armstrong and Fellows calls him off at the last second to make that catch for out number 1. And Sardi comes up. He hits that ball hard. Is it going to stay up? It is. Oh, my goodness. McMackey snaps that one out of the air just before the wall, and he had to stop himself abruptly before he ran into the wall, or that could have been an injury. And a tournament like this, we can't afford any injuries for either teams, because that's going to be pretty debilitating. Excuse me. That one ends up being a 1-2-3 inning. And it looks like McCussell kind of settled in a little bit there after that Tobias Fox solo shot. So here comes Ramus Turnpike again. He had a rough first inning. He's already tense. So he's going to see what he can figure out here. We talked about effectively wild. That ball gets to Flores on a bounce and tosses to first for out number 1, and that resets Turnpike's mojo against Tiger Avalos, who can be a very big threat offensively if he's given anything high in the zone, which he does there, but he pulls that one foul. Turnpike has got a big day ahead of him if he can't get out of these innings in cleaner shape, and he's been trying to labor through already. 2-2 count here against Avalos with no one on. That ball too low. And that ball is a high pitch, but he just makes contact and fouls it off. Full count here. And that ball just stays underneath the bottom of the zone. Turnpike's frustrated with himself. He knows he struggles with accuracy here, and Avalos was able to take advantage of that as he fought off a few pitches, made the pitcher work, and ended up costing him a walk there. So here comes McMackey, who was 143 in the tournament. He did get an RBI earlier in the series, but that has been about it. It's been a rough one for him. And he's down 2-2 in this count here. And he hits that one just into left field lightly. Fitzpatrick comes up throwing to third, and Turnpike gets sent back down to tense mojo against the 9-hitter Slide Armstrong, who's hitting 200 in the series. So another guy they'd like to see turn things around for the Dirt Dogs. 2 runners on with 1 out, and this could be an opportunity for him to right the ship. 34 pitches already for Turnpike, and so he is struggling, tense already. And that ball, Blanchard's able to knock it down, and he just takes the out over at first base, the sure thing. And that was a really great play for Blanchard, keeping that ball in the infield, as if it gets past him, it's probably at least 1 run. And so now runners are both in scoring position, swinging at the first pitch as Count Fellows, and Uriel Sardi is able to throw it over the diamond for out number 3. So what could have gotten way worse and way out of hand very quickly ends up being an inning that just cost him a few extra pitches unnecessarily. But Turnpike's able to get out of it. And here comes Flores. Not really much of an offensive weapon. She hits that ball hard, and she pulls it down the line, and it's going to be right there at the edge of the warning track. McMackey is able to make the catch, and that one was very close. Too much arc underneath it, but we've been seeing a lot of hard-hit balls here from both teams in these early innings, but McCussell's currently on the winning side of this one so far, only making 1 mistake instead of 2. But he's now down 3-0. And Emerson Smith swings at that 3-0 pitch and pulls it down the line past Stu Soto for the base hit. And that's all it is he is not fast as a catcher. He gets the base hit and nothing else. And here comes Skylar Lynch, leadoff man. He did strike out after quite a few pitches. He's still locked in, however, and with 1 out, we'll see what he can do. Swinging through some tough off-speed pitches here. And he takes ball 2 out of the zone, 2-2 count here. And that ball swings right into his happy spot, and it bounces off the wall. Fellows gets that ball in quickly, and the runner advances to third smartly. And you saw that Skylar Lynch was considering trying to advance to second if that ball cut all the way through to third base, but they decided to cut it off. So now we have runners on the corners with 1 out, and Ariadne Fitzpatrick, who swings at the first pitch. Armstrong tosses it to Avalos, and Avalos could not get it to first in time, as Fitzpatrick is able to beat that double play out, and it ends up being a fielder's choice, and the runner scores from third. So what could have ended the inning without a run scored, luckily Fitzpatrick was hustling down the line. Tobias Fox hits another one on a line, but that one stays too low and goes right to McMackey for out number 3. But they are able to get that one back, and now it is tied 2-2, heading into the the bottom of the 3rd inning here. The Dirt Dogs, they're going to have to keep up with the scoring in this one and try and press on Turnpike if they want to try and eke this one out. These two teams in the scoring, the lead changes in this series have been absolutely insane. And here comes the number 2 pick in the draft getting a base hit down the line, and he puts that one down the left field line into the corner, but not nearly fast enough to get to second base when Fitzpatrick is able to get to it so quickly. So here comes Stu Soto. The max clutch first baseman comes up after hitting that solo shot in his last at-bat. He's got the confidence going in a 2-0 count here. Is he going to get something to hit? I don't know how that one missed the zone, but that's ball 3. And he gets the green light and fouls that one off. That ball stays just underneath the zone, and again, Turnpike with another walk. And we noticed this when we were looking at him prior to the game starting. He does not have the accuracy to keep the ball going. He needs to use his junk to get those batters to chase, and they're just not doing it. So he gets pulled early. Elliott comes in, and he forces the ground ball. Sardi to Blanchard over to Fox for the double play, which is huge in this situation. So even while the runner is able to advance to third base, Nielsen is at third now. There are now 2 outs for Sebastian Schaefer against James Elliott. Clutch moment for him, and he now gets the ball off the edge of the bat, and Tobias Fox easily steps on first base for out number 3. What could have been an absolute mess for the Lockhorns ends up being a quiet inning for the Dirt Dogs. And so they got to be feeling frustrated. Bolivar there thought he was going to have an easy lead with an RBI hero coming up to bat with 2 on, but he's still got a tie game, and he's starting to get a little tired as you saw that ball got away from him. J.R. Vang fighting off a pitch, now down 2-2 in the count here with a K collector activated, and Vang puts a bang into that one. It's going to hang up, and it looks like it's going to get out of here, and the Lockhorns are not going to go down without a fight here, as they went up 1-0, went down 2-1, and now go up 3-2 with another solo shot in this game from J.R. Vang, his second home run of the series. So we move forward to Leland Pollard. Bolivar McHustle might be seeing getting close to the end of his day. He is now tense, and at 40 pitches, he's about halfway through his stamina. That ball gets hit hard, but that one's an easy play for Fellows, who ranges back, comes back in, catches that one for out number 2. I think that was out number 1. Uriel Sardi hits that ball down the third base side, and Schaefer makes an incredible diving play. Again, not known for his defense, but he's able to get up quickly, toss that one over to first for the second out, and Sardi is back to being tense. And after that, I think that was Ellen Flores who smacks that ball right back up the middle. Oh, it is not Ellen Flores. Instead, I believe that might have been, let me see if I can find out who's on first right now, and it's not who. Never mind, doesn't matter. Soto, another non-defensive player, just makes a diving catch to snag that one before it gets to the outfield for out number 3. So big play from him, and we see James Elliott coming out again. He came in that first game, and he did not have a good appearance, but he came in a very tough situation in this one and was able to get out of it, and he just gets a strikeout there against Bracketeer. So I don't know if it was that first game jitters or what might have been the case, but he has found himself kind of settled in compared to his last outing. Tiger Avalos has his clutch activated, but that ball goes right to Flores. And luckily it went right to Flores because there's no way she's going to field that one if it goes to either side of her. And that boosts Elliott's mojo back up to locked in with his elite four-seamer. You do see him hit triple digits there on his fastball. 0-2 to McMackey, and swings through that one for strike 3. So clean inning after coming in to clean up the mess from Turnpike. And James Elliott's kind of cruising now. This might be all she wrote for that Dirt Dogs team, as they're going to need to find another gear to shift into if they want to try and make this one work. But before they get there, they're going to have to stop the Lockhorns offense from moving forward, starting with Emerson Smith, who got a base hit down the right field line. In his first at-bat, he pops that one up, and it looks like it's going to get out of play. Bounces awkwardly off of the pole there by the dugout. Fights off that one, 2-2. And just reached back and pushed forward, and he gets the strikeout there at the bottom of the zone, and McHustle trying to fight for his life here. He's still in this game. Skylar Lynch coming up, the number 1 hitter, is locked in still, and that extreme pressure boosts his mojo even more. McHustle trying to keep his team in it and let the offense do their thing. He's able to get the line out to Armstrong for McHustle, and here comes Ariadne Fitzpatrick, who in her last at-bat could have easily grounded into a double play, but that hustle, she really does give it 100%, and she was able to leg out an infield fielder's choice to let the runner score, and that's where that RBI came from. Down 1-2 here. K Collector activates. Ball way out of the zone. And fights that one off. It was just on the corner of the plate. And that ball drops right into the zone, and Fitzpatrick's able to line that one right down the middle, right back where it came from for a base hit to center field. She finds herself on first base with Tobias Fox up 1 for 2 with that solo shot in the first inning. And that's all she wrote for McHustle. And here comes Omari Nichols, who has infinite ERA and an infinite whip, as his first start was absolutely abysmal. And he has to have a sigh of relief here as he induces that pop-up for out number 3 to Schaefer. And he gave, what was that, 2 pitches there. He gets his first out, I think, of the entire series for himself. And maybe that's what he needs to kind of settle himself. So the Dirt Dogs have a chance here. And they started off with a base hit from Slide Armstrong, the 9-hitter, showing some offensive prowess here at the bottom of the 5th. And here comes Count Fellows. He's been, I believe, the most consistent hitter for this Dirt Dogs offense for the entire series, as he's been holding up, batting .615 with 2 homers. Unfortunately, both were solo shots. Working the count here, 2-0. Fights that one off, and that's a strike. And Elliott's able to get the pop-up on Fellows, and Flores camps underneath that one. The runner has to stay because it is popped up right there at third base. And here comes Cedar Nielsen, who hit one down the left field line for a single in his last at-bat. He is still tense, as he has just been having a rough series in that 2 spot. He hits that one hard, and Fitzpatrick is easily able to camp under that one for out number 2, and the runner has to retreat once again. So with 2 outs here, the pressure is at its max, and that's when you want a guy like Stu Soto to come up. He's 1 for 1 with a home run and a walk, and he's going to get an opportunity to do what he's supposed to do best, which is hit the ball and hit it hard. 2-0 count here. This is a good spot for him to find and he hits that one hard, and that ball is going to get down. Fitzpatrick doesn't dive for it. She opts to knock it down. I think she's sitting out there on an island and decides, I'd rather save an extra base for the runners and keep it in quickly. There's not a lot of speed on the base paths. However, I believe that's Distractor up there at second base. And here comes Mario Griffin, the RBI hero, who hasn't really done it much, and he does it here, and that ball's going to get to the wall. Vang reaches for it, but isn't able to get it in, and 1 runner scores. There's a runner on the corner, runners on the corners now for Sebastian Schaefer. So the RBI hero, Mario Griffin, comes up there and gets his job done. This game's tied. And that ball lines right to Vang for out number 3. That one was hit really hard. And again, one of those where if it's anywhere else, it's probably getting down and going for a long way. And this ball game is all brand new here as we head into the 6th inning. A familiar territory for both of these teams in this series. It's been this interactive the entire time as the lead changes have gone back and forth. We've seen multiple ties here in the 6th inning. And we saw that Omari Nichols is now getting his confidence back as he was able to get the strikeout there. And we head to Leland Pollard now up to bat. Gets the strikeout on Vang, who's been having himself a good series. Pollard, get that one. It's going to get off the top of the post. Or off the top of the wall. And I thought that one hit yellow. It ended up staying just inside the park as he hit it to the deepest part. Pollard hit that ball so hard, and it ended up being a ball that just hung up. And Sardi's coming out as they want to try and take advantage of they want to get a kill shot in here, and Raiden Gaines is the guy to do it. He hasn't been batting that well, but, and here he grounds out to Armstrong for a toss over to first for out number 2. And that advances the runner over to third. And this is probably one of the best guys you'd want to have in the lineup in the way that this tournament's been playing out, as Gabriel Blanchard has been incredibly hot. He's locked in. And that ball goes right up the middle. Omari Nichols almost was able to get it knocked down. And the runner scores. And we have another lead change as the Lockhorns take the lead. And they are not done yet. Blanchard sitting there on first base, still locked in, and Ellen Flores comes up to the plate with 2 outs. Can they add to the lead? Flores, is that going to stay in fair? Nope, it goes just foul as it was tailing away as she hit it. And that ball is going to go up the middle, and Avalos picks it up, tosses to Soto, gets the out, but not before another runner comes across to take the lead for the Lockhorns. So now the Dirt Dogs 3 outs away from elimination, and they are going to need to figure something out here against the offense or the pitching staff for the Lockhorns. Now, James Elliott is not impervious to making mistakes, and he's not impervious to giving up runs, but how long is he going to stay out there before they look to replace him with another batter or with another pitcher? We do have a closer for this Lockhorns off or pitching staff in the bullpen, and she's rearing and ready to go. She's been stretching out since about the fourth inning, and Elliott gets the strikeout here. But now we're facing off against a max clutch, high pressure or extreme pressure Tiger Avalos. So they do pull Elliott. They bring in Jefferson Fleming, another pitcher who had a really tough first outing, and gives up a base hit immediately to left center field. And that ball is going to go all the way to the wall. And Fitzpatrick's able to get to it, but not before we get a double from Avalos. And McMackey comes up with Ace Exterminator activated. And if he uses this to his advantage, this is going to be a very, very interesting game. He swings through strike one. He's getting antsy. If he makes contact, that ball's going to go very far. K Collector gets activated for Fleming, and that ball goes to Blanchard. Blanchard tosses to Fox for out number two. He almost threw that ball too hard. It looked like Fox wasn't looking just yet, but he was able to turn around and quickly make that catch. Now the tying run is on third base for Slide Armstrong. The second baseman, 286 average in this series. And that ball is going to hang up for Flores, and the Lockhorns stave off the Dirt Dogs for the elimination. So we see another wild game. This is absolutely the best series out of the four, in my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments. But the Lockhorns scoring 4 runs on 8 hits, spaced out throughout this game. The Dirt Dogs 3 runs on 8 hits. Most of those coming in that first inning, scoring an extra run there in the 5th. And this has been an interesting series, but an unfortunate one for the Dirt Dogs. Excuse me. They did almost everything they could, but in the end, it just wasn't enough, as that Lockhorns just did not ever quit fighting. And I don't know. I think at that point, it's all about stamina, and it seemed like the Lockhorns just held out just a little bit longer. For the Dirt Dogs offense, Count Fellows got a solo shot in that first inning. That was his only hit of the game. Nielsen had a base hit, didn't result in anything. Stu Soto finally found his groove, as he had 3 plate appearances, reached base every time, including a solo shot. Mario Griffin came up as a RBI hero in this one, getting a base hit, scoring a run, but that was his only hit of this game. And he had another RBI hero opportunity that he wasn't able to succeed with. Next, you see Schaefer went 0 for 3, and Bracketeer went 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. Those are 2 guys you need to have hitting, especially in this game more than any others. Tiger Avalos had a good game. He walked once. He got that hit at the end. That was actually the winning or the game tying run there at third base when the game ended. McMackey 1 for 3 with a strikeout. That low contact rating, I think, was just too much for him, and he wasn't able to capitalize for this tournament. And then Slide Armstrong did get a base hit, but they needed him there at the end, and he ends up stranding that runner at third base, tying the game. For the Lockhorns, really great game for them. It kind of came from across the whole lineup for them. You see Skylar Lynch got a base hit. He was more quiet than normal today. He did strike out once. Fitzpatrick got a base hit. She hit a ball or hit a runner in as well. Tobias Fox finally found it. Maybe that's the turn he needs for this tournament as they move forward. He got a solo shot in the first inning. That was his only hit of the game. J.R. Vang did the same exact thing, but he struck out once as well. Leland Pollard hit the ball really hard, got a double, and then scored a run. And then you see Sardi has just continued to struggle. He has yet to get a hit in this tournament. And so you'd wonder what they're going to do there at shortstop and third base, as they kind of need him at least defensively, but absolutely offensively as well. Gaines came into a pinch hit situation, wasn't able to get a hit there. Blanchard had a good game, as he's been doing this entire series, 2 for 3 with an RBI. Flores went 0 for 3, and then Emerson Smith went 1 for 2, and he ends up scoring a run as well. On the pitching side of things, Boulevard McCussell made it as close as he possibly could. He went 4 and 2/3 innings, giving up 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 strikeouts, and two of those earned runs came on homers. He gets the no decision, and then Omari Nichols 1 and 1/3 inning. He had an abysmal tournament, giving up 2 hits, 1 earned run, and 1 strikeout. He gets a loss. His ERA goes down to 33.75. So very tough time for him, and who knows if he's going to get the invite back for the tournament and the next tournament that they do. He had a really tough time, and who knows how he's going to be able to recover from that. For the Lockhorns, Ramus Turnpike did not have a great outing. He kind of just survived. He just treaded water in this one. 2 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, both on home runs. Walked two as well. And then he gets the no decision. James Elliott actually gets the win. 3 and 1/3 inning, 3 hits, 1 earned run, and 3 strikeouts. He had a great outing, recovering really well from his first time out. You see that I believe it's Jefferson Fleming. Yeah, Jefferson Fleming came in and he pitched 2/3 of an inning, just kind of finishing off this ball game. He only allowed 1 hit and he got the save. So the top three in this game are going to be Stu Soto, who went 2 for 2 with a home run, a single, and a walk. Count Fellows 1 for 3 with a home run, and Tobias Fox 1 for 3 with a home run as well. So the home runs are the players of the game in this one. But the Dirt Dogs go home empty-handed, as they're going to feel really frustrated for a long time, thinking about what could have been, as they end this series after a brutal back and forth battering with the Longhorns or the Lockhorns, giving up that grand slam to lose the first game in extra innings, fighting back to hold off the Lockhorns in game two, winning 8-6, coming back home, giving up that 4-0 game, and then this one where they fought back and forth throughout the entire game, but just gave up one too many runs and they couldn't get it back. So the Dirt Dogs are out. That goes along with the Arctics and the Overdogs, or I'm sorry, the Underdogs, and that's going to be coming down to the Sewer Sneaks and the Buzzwings to see what we're going to see advance into the next series, the semifinals. We'll have to see next time. But thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so that you can follow along. And we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye, everyone.